Good day, viewers. Today we are in the company of Mr. Bockarie Stevens. He is the ambassador to the United States representing Sierra Leone. Mr. Ambassador, can you say hi to viewers?
All right, thank you very much for having me on the program.
All right. I just want us to start this interview just like this. What are the responsibility of an ambassador, especially in one of the world's most powerful nations?
Ambassadorial appointments go to centuries back. And of course, over the years, they've been modified by circumstances and by situations. In modern day setup, the ambassador is mainly, number one, representing your country.
Okay.
Number two, representing the head of state of your country. If you have plenipotential powers, it means that you are allowed to sign documents on behalf of your country. Like, for instance, I signed loan or credit agreements with the World Bank, and I also signed with the International Monetary Fund on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone. So basically, it means that you are there to represent your country, represent your president, and at the same time, you have a responsibility towards your citizens, who we nowadays call the diaspora. You also have a responsibility towards your citizen in that country. And like you mentioned, being an ambassador in the United States, yes, you have over 150 countries represented in the United States.
Yeah, that's true.
And you are a small country here, and we are all trying to catch the attention of the United States government. So that is one of your core functions. We are here to make sure that your country is recognized by the most powerful country in the world, and that you also have a place in their space.
All right. So how did you get started? How did you get started with this whole ambassador?
Because I am a non-career diplomat. We have career diplomats, that those who serve in the foreign service, they are civil servants. I mean, you have two types of diplomats. You have those who are career civil servants, and you have those who are appointed from outside of the civil service or outside of the foreign ministry. I'm one of those, so we call ourselves non-career ambassadors. But suffice it to say that I have served in the diplomatic field as ambassador for over 11 years, 6 years in America, 5 years in Guinea.
Okay.
And there are no special examinations you go and seek to be an ambassador. I mean, because it's purely the prerogative of the president and the head of state to appoint you. He looks at your credentials, he looks at your background, looks at your qualifications, and if you think that you are fit to represent him and to represent Sierra Leone, then he appoints you. I never took an examination to be an ambassador.
And you've been in this job for like 11 years. What do you like about the job?
Being an ambassador is a very challenging job. Sometimes it can be very lonely.
Okay.
I mean, what normal people do in terms of vocational things, you can't do them, because you have the responsibility of the state bearing on you. You have the responsibility of your head of state bearing on you. It means that it's not every place you can go. It's difficult to live like an ordinary person, because you are in sort of a straight jacket. But despite that, you have to function within the community. So that is what I like of the job. It's certainly there are challenges of it, but mainly that when I see results are produced, like when Sierra Leone was awarded the compact, it gives you satisfaction that yes, my job has not been in vain, and that yes, we have been gaining recognition. When I saw that President Obama invited my president last year in April to come, those are the things you look forward to as an ambassador. That yes, you are. When we are able to negotiate and agree on credit lines, grants for your country. Anytime I sign an agreement like $50, $60 million for Sierra Leone, they feel very satisfied that yes, we are producing some results.
So, what is most challenging about this job?
The challenge we have as a country, as Sierra Leone, especially in the United States, is one of branding our country. The many people in the United States, USA seems to be an insular society where many people just think about America. You have people who don't think beyond America. Some people think that when they say Africa, Africa is a country. They don't even know that Africa is a country.
Definitely.
So you have a lot of things to do. And for us, with 11 years of civil war and the kind of atrocities that we are committed during that period, unheard of atrocities, cutting of limbs, killing of children, that is the kind of image that is in the minds of the average American.
Yeah.
And so your challenge is, how do you get these people to realize that, look, today, Sierra Leone is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. That Sierra Leone has put this thing behind us. That we have huge investment potential. Definitely. So those are the challenges that we have to be able to convince potential investors that yes, indeed, Sierra Leone is ready for business.
That's true. Can we talk about some of those agreements that I believe you facilitate to sign and stuff like that are helping out in Sierra Leone right now?
Most of the agreements normally are negotiated by the experts. They are negotiated by our colleagues from the Ministry of Finance and with the, of course, you are aware that the World Bank has a team in Sierra Leone. They have a representative in Sierra Leone. The team just left Sierra Leone, and I'm happy to report that they reported very favorably on all the benchmarks that the World Bank set for Sierra Leone. Set for Sierra Leone, I think we passed all of those benchmarks. The results came out about 2 days ago. So these things are negotiated by experts, and then it's brought to us for signature, and then we sign it, and then it's implemented. It's not only with those monetary agreements, other discussions where it involves my country, like we are now sending troops to Somalia, sending troops to Sudan, and things like that. These are things that we discuss here and get agreements on, and then we can be able to properly inform our own governments.
Okay. What is like some common misconception people have about your job? Because as soon as you heard, oh, that's an ambassador, what like the things that people just misconstrued upon?
Yeah, well, people look at ambassadors. I mean, as an ambassador, yes, you carry a lot of weight. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Because you are representing your country. You carry a lot of weight. When they say you have extraordinary plenipotentiary power, it means that your credential speaks for itself. If I say something to the President of the United States, he should believe it. He should know that it comes from my president. That's the role of an ambassador, that I stand in local standard of my president. That if I say my president has sent me to tell you this, you have to have confidence in that. Definitely. So you have people, but again, you got many a time you meet people and say, oh, Ambassador Jogo, you enjoy a lot as an ambassador. Yes, well, I don't see enjoyment in it, because you wake up at 3 in the morning to look at your papers, do letters, do a lot of reading, because you have to be abreast of what is happening. Because people expect you to know. And when they ask you, they expect answers. You can't say, give me 4 or 5 days. When they ask you questions, you have to answer. So you have to keep abreast. So it keeps you 24 hours busy. It's a very busy job, it's a very challenging job, and it's a very taxing job. But then, of course, people think, oh, look at him sitting in his car, he's having chauffeur, he's enjoying himself. It's, you just look at, so many times I see President Obama, when I knew him when he was campaigning, he looked so young. Yeah. But I look at him now, you see that, oh my God, and that is because of the weight on him. He carries the whole world on his shoulders. Yeah. That's the position sometimes we find ourselves, because you have so much responsibility on yourself, and it means that you you have to carry yourself with dignity at times.
Um, Another question: how does the Sierra Leone government help people out in the diaspora that want to go back home, maybe after an education, they want to go start a business? Is there any plan for them?
The government of Sierra Leone takes the diaspora very, very seriously.
Okay.
And one of the things that they've done is to provide the enabling environment to allow diasporans to go back. People talk about dual nationality. Those are things that are done by the government to attract people. Dual nationality means that you are allowed to carry two passports. You can have a Sierra Leone passport, you can have an American passport. These are things that are done to encourage people to go back. It was passed in 2007. Then the government also has a lot of incentives for people who want to go back. One of the things President Nkrumah introduced was that people who are going back finally could take their container and don't pay duty on them.
Okay.
There has been problems with that because there are people who have been misusing those facilities. Because then you ask yourself, when is final? Some people can go, okay, I'm now coming finally, brings a container. And then a year back, it goes back, and then it wants to come back and enjoy that. So it's under some strain. But these are some of the incentives the government provided to help Sierra Leoneans going back. And the labor laws have been strengthened. If you want to go and set up a business, it's now, before it used to be about a month, now you can do it in 3 days. And you have facility to repatriate your profits. You can send them here to America if you want. If you make your profits, you can send them back. All of these things are done with the help of the World Bank, who help to set up these institutions to make sure that people are encouraged to go back. Okay. I have a belief that you don't force people to go back. It's a personal decision.
Definitely.
For somebody to decide to go back, you have to weigh all the consequences, your family affairs, your financial status, what you have in Sierra Leone and things like that. Then you can make that kind of decision. I don't like to go and tell Sierra Leoneans, oh, go back home. No. When Sierra Leoneans are, and now I can tell you there is a lot of Sierra Leoneans going back home. A lot of them. Some of them go for holidays. When they go and see the environment, they come and pack and go back. You know, I know people who are saying, if you tell them to come back to America, they tell them I'm not coming because they are making money in Sierra Leone. So the environment is good. The government provides the enabling environment. You go there, they will help you to set up your company. They will help you to repatriate your profits. If you have even disputes in setting up a company, there are special courts set up for that. So the government has a duty to provide the enabling environment for diasporans to go back and help to develop their country. And many a time I can tell Sierra Leoneans, you don't need to go back with $50,000, $60,000 to go and set up a business. Even $10,000, you can use it to set up a bakery in Sierra Leone. You sell baking bread and selling it to people. They themselves, it has a rebound effect and things like that. You know, so people can go and start business on a small scale, and eventually, how that develops, you can then decide to let it grow. So people have to start somewhere, and I can tell you, a lot of Sierra Leoneans are doing it. Some of them own hotels, some of them are doing the car business, some of them rent their cars to Africa Mining. They make a lot of money. So there's a lot of business going on in Sierra Leone by members from the diaspora.
What else should we know about the embassy?
What I've done about the embassy. Sierra Leone Embassy, I'm proud to say that many people who go there today, those who've been here for a long time, they notice the difference. I have met people, some of them who are not members of my party, some of them who are members of the SLPP. Last 2 weeks ago, I was in a function which was organized by the SLPP, and all of them were full of praise for the embassy. That is one thing to recognize. Number one, the embassy has been updated. Okay. The embassy was like a dumping ground. When you go there today, it's clean. We have state-of-the-art security. Even the way your requests are handled is done in a professional way. those are some of the things I try to introduce in the embassy to make sure that when people come for service, number one, they should be punctual. If you go to the embassy now, sharp 9 is open.
Okay.
Sharp 9 is open, and we are there till 5 o'clock. And we have a very good environment. You can sit down, you relax, there is television. I didn't do it with magic. When I went there, the embassy was dirty, filthy. I called the Sierra Leone community. I said, look, this is your embassy. Come and help and do it. They did it. They bought the carpets and the reception. They bought the television. They bought the carpets right up and things like that. So it's just somebody to give leadership. And the next thing we try to do in the embassy is make it user-friendly. The embassy, we take the embassy to the people. It's now user-friendly, so people from anywhere can contact the embassy. You want your passport application forms, you can go to the embassy website, download the application forms. You want visa forms, you can download it from the embassy website. You complete it, you put instructions are there, you put it in the post, you send it. You don't need to come to Washington. The people have to go to Washington. You can do everything within a day and send it back to you, and then you get it safely. So what we've done as an embassy is to try to make sure that we are there to serve the Sierra Leone community. And therefore, we also want the Sierra Leone community to use the embassy. Of course, there are difficulties, but that is where the professionalism comes in. Sometimes Sierra Leoneans call up the receptionist. They forget to realize that lady might be holding about 6 or 7 calls. But they want immediate attention. Things they cannot take with other offices, they expect that lady to play magic. What do you mean? How can I call her? I was on the line for 20, 30 minutes. I don't get. Forgetting that lady is also attending to people. But we've trained her. I made a training program for them. We spent a lot of money. We brought in trainers to come and train them on customer services, on the assertiveness. Okay. Say no to people, but say no with respect. Those kind of training and things like that. So now we are producing the result, and every complaint I get when I go, if somebody complains that I went to the embassy or I called the embassy and I was not treated fairly, I investigate them. And if they are fault from us, we try to correct them. That is how we try to make the embassy more Sierra Leonean. And I believe those who are going there now, they appreciate a lot that, yes, the face of the embassy has changed.
Is there anything a visitor from Sierra Leone should do on entering the United States?
Well, there are regulations for anybody from Sierra Leone who comes here, you must register with the embassy. Okay. But many of them don't. But we encourage them to do that. But Sierra Leoneans, it's only when they have problems they will rush to the embassy. Some of them will be here, and some confess them. Some will be here for like 10 years, 15 years, they will have nothing to do with the embassy. But when they have problems, they want immediate attention from the embassy. But the embassy is there, it will be there long after I've died. So it is still, and it is Sierra Leone's property. Okay. It is not my property, it is not Anes Kuruma's property. It belongs to Sierra Leone. My residence, the embassy, and the deputy's residence is owned by the state of Sierra Leone's money. So people have a right to it. That's why when I make independence receptions, I invite people to my residence. We do it outside. I invite everybody to come there, have a good time. It never used to happen before.
So what are your goals in the future?
My goals, what I would like to see here is a unified Sierra Leonean entity. Okay. Some countries have it. Because if we are having a diaspora conference, I think on the 27th of April, the Sierra Leone Diaspora Conference. That I think should be the beginning. I don't want to know which party you belong to. We all know where we belong. People know where I belong. I know where you belong. I know where Madame belongs. That's how I'm business. But when election is over, let us forget about politics. Let's think as Sierra Leone. When election comes, everybody go to his own corner. That is what we want. But as a unit, we can benefit a lot. People are asking, why shouldn't we vote from America? But you have to show something to the government. If you want to vote, there are responsibilities. There must be a kind of tax that you should be paying. These are things that we can discuss at the diaspora meeting. So we are having a diaspora conference on the 27th of April. We are sending letters out. We need people from all over the United States to attend that conference, to go and see what's in their mind. What do they expect the government to do for them as Sierra Leoneans in America? What do you want the government of Sierra Leone to do for you to be able to help in the development effort for Sierra Leone? We can do it if we want to do it. So that is my main goal, that before I leave, I've done 6 years there, I've done over the mark. My top duty is 2 years. So when you've done 2 years, from 2 years you go to 6 years, you already done too much. But my aim is, if I live here, is to live, I know I've done quite a lot, but I wish to live a community that is united. Many a time it's only when we come to this gathering that you see people, but we should be united in development. We should be united in development as a Sierra Leonean community. Let us forget about tribe, let us forget about it. When time comes to say I want to go to Tekloma, I'll go there. I'm a Mende, I can go anywhere I want to go to, you know. But let us think as Sierra Leoneans and try to help to develop our country.
Do you have any particular hobby?
My main hobby is news. I like listening to the news. I like reading, and I'm now 63 years of age. So
Wow.
there are things which a young man like you will like, which I must be very careful. I'm saying there are stages in your life when you reach, when the little things will not appeal to you anymore. You've done it.
Yeah.
You've enjoyed it.
Being there.
So if I'm now as an ambassador, there's no alcohol I want that I cannot get. If I want the most expensive brandy, I can buy it. But that's the time you have to be careful. Because you kill yourself. I'll be in my house drinking. So when there are certain situations in which in life, like if you live in America, I'm not saying that you are rich, but you are better off than the ones you left behind in Sierra Leone. Yeah. So if you come here, you have to do everything in moderation. Because as long as you are working, any food you want to eat, you can eat. Any drink you want to drink, you can drink. But that's the time you have to be careful of what you eat and what you drink. So that is why for me, I like cassava leaf, I like granite, but because I know that now, after 60, you're not going up, you are going down. I'm trying to take care of what I eat. So, yes, I'm very much. But when I go to Freetown, I will indulge. Like I know I'm going this couple of days. Everybody will cook food, drinking for you, and it's hard to resist. You see the way it's prepared. You see you permao, I think like that. I don't know.
What's your favorite Sierra Leonean dish?
No, we all know cassava leaf. But if you ask my wife, she will tell you it's granite soup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. I know our 53rd anniversary, the independence anniversary is coming. What message do you have for all the Sierra Leoneans out there living in the United States?
Let us celebrate. I know sometimes they want me to behave like Mr. Spider. You're going to invite me like 5 or 6 areas. California will invite me, Ohio invite me. I tried, even Canada want me to go there. And I really wanted to go there, but I can't make it. I'm sending somebody else there. I'm sending my deputy to Ohio. I'm thinking like that. And but I hope to do a reception, maybe on a reduced scale, because it's quite expensive when you're doing it. The 50th anniversary cost us about $80,000. But those who went there knew that it was the first of its kind in the United States. People really, really enjoyed themselves. It was an open air event in a park where we had Pondu Devil, we had hunting, we had Nafali, we had Goboy, all of them were there. And people really, in fact, the police had to stop us because the crowd was so much that they feared that if there is anything, there will be no way for the fire force or emergency services to come in. So they had to come down and say, look, by 5 o'clock they say you have to shut down. But we really enjoyed that. So it's expensive to make these kinds of people wanted us to do it every year, typical Sierra Leone, but we cannot do it. As I said, it cost us over $80,000 to do that 50th anniversary. But I believe we have the goal that we set, and that is that many of our friends now think more about Sierra Leone than about politics. I've been to Tegloma, they gave me an award. They could not have done it in the past. They would say, oh, this man at APC, my wife, but they gave me an award and things like that. So So it's for us, the anniversary gives us a time to reflect. Sometimes people like to compare us with America. America is over 300 years old. It's a good independent.
Yeah.
We are only about 140 years old. By the time today, we are ranked as one of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world.
Yeah.
That's not us, it's the World Bank that says that. So if we continue like that, we don't have to wait for 300 years to be like America. Maybe within 100 years' time, we will have surpassed America.
Thank you very much, sir,
Thank you.
for stopping by and taking part of your time. We really appreciate it. And we want to say thank you very much again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.